What's up, y'all? Welcome back to LWIC Live Link Ups. Back for another episode this week. I got a special guest on tonight, my cousin, Mark Haynes, NBA insider, Fresno legend. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man?
What's good, D, man? Hey, cuz I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm excited to see what we gonna talk about. You know, I
Yes,
love
sir.
everything you doing, and I love you. So
Yes, sir,
I'm
man.
ready. I'm ready.
Yes, sir, man. Back at you, man. I love you too, man. It's been a minute. I know we in different cities, so you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. We definitely gotta link up in person for sure. But I know I'm busy, and I know you, man, bro. I know you're super busy with everything you got going and doing. But so you just finished your first year covering the Warriors, right?
yeah. Just finished first year. I'm signing on full time with Clutch. Actually, this is my first time telling anybody publicly or
Oh,
whatever. Yeah,
breaking
I'll be full.
news!
Yeah, right
Breaking
here,
news!
right here.
See, now I'm with you and Chris, man. I feel apart. I done broke the
Hey, it's in our blood, man. It's in our
third.
blood. But yeah,
Yes,
so I'll
sir.
be full time. I'm going down there tomorrow for the post draft, interviews and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's been a blessing, man. I've been having fun.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to ask you, man, your ride is crazy, how you got to where you got to. Just want you to share your story from beginning to end. Your basic journey. How did you get to being Mark Haynes, the NBA insider?
Well, I have to give a whole lot of credit to my brother Chris Haynes, Yahoo Sports NBA Insider. Um, he brought me on his podcast, his Posted Up podcast, and we did about 10 episodes or so, and from then, like probably about midway, I just kind of had a vision. I was just like, I don't want to just be on the pod and then eventually, be
Yeah,
took off the pod and that's just it.
yeah,
And it's like, of course I could get on my brother's podcast. So I was
yeah,
like, I wanted to make something out of this. And so I started, kind of looking at my future and trying to figure out, how can I get into the business?
yes,
And
sir.
I ended up networking with a guy named Frank, actually, Frank Smith, and he introduced me to the people at Clutch Points.
Yes, sir.
And I had a few meetings with them, and they liked what I was doing and stuff, with me and Chris Perry, and a Minute Till Six podcast.
Yes, sir.
And we basically just started from the ground up. They originally the truth, yeah, they originally wanted to use me to get to Chris. That was
Oh,
that was
okay.
the original plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
they reached out to me and wanted to offer like something but Chris is under contract.
Yeah.
He's on a whole different level than me.
Yeah.
So it went away. It went away, and we continued with a Minute Till Six podcast, and we were just grinding and you know um, doing interviews as much as we can and things. And then it came back around, and Clutch was like, you know, we want you. We want to do something with you.
Yeah.
And they signed us on a podcast deal, on their network. They produced and edited everything about the show. And we that's basically the beginning. That's basically how it all started. They eventually
Yes, sir.
offered a deal, and we was running with them, and kind of
Man,
kept
that
continued
is
to blossom into now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's obviously amazing to see because obviously, like me, you and Chris, like I remember us, like whenever Chris would come around, like me and Chris talking hoops back then. Me and you, we'd get around teenage years, talking hoop and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I always knew that you guys, y'all always had knowledge and stuff like that. So it's amazing to see where both of y'all and yourself that really took it from there. What was the moment? Obviously, you've covered some of everybody and interviewed some of everybody. What was the moment? Like when players get in the NBA, and it's like, what was that moment where you was in the NBA and you knew like that moment just hit you like, man, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? What was that? What was that moment? whether it was an interview or interaction where you was just like, man, like I'm really here doing it.
It was an interaction with LeBron James actually,
Yeah,
and
I do it. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes,
it
sir.
was like we met Dame, we met everybody, I met Steph at that point,
Yeah.
Draymond, I met Chris Paul, I met everybody at that point, and it was All-Star Weekend, Charlotte, so like 3 years ago or whatever. We're still doing Posted Up,
Uh-huh.
so we probably about I don't know if we like 6 episodes in, and we ended up going to a Sacramento Kings brunch, and Rich Paul was there, his agent, and that
Uh-huh.
was my first time meeting him. And I met him first time, he's mainly talking to Chris, so like we just there, and it's just cool. And he invites us to a dinner that night. And like a lot of people, like especially famous people and stuff or whatever, they invite you like kind of on common courtesy or whatever, but they don't really want you to come.
You come.
So
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't want to be rude, so I threw a pointless invite.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we took it. That's kind of how we took it when he invited us. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a dinner. It's gonna be, me, Brian, AD, and just it's gonna be real small."
Yeah.
And I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. I'm just happy that we're getting somewhat of an invite. And
Yeah.
Chris is still kind of skeptical on it. He's like, you know, he might just be saying it. I don't know if he's for real. We might want to make some other plans, just in case it don't fall through.
Yeah.
And we end up going. We was like, man, we just gotta go. Let's just go and see what happens. They turn us down at the door. We walk off, and we take a Uber. We get there, and the entrance was like, it was weird. It was like the address was probably like almost a block away,
Uh-huh.
but the entrance was like a long hallway away from where it's even at. So
Yeah.
as we getting out the car, I look up, and it's another car in front of us, and he gets out the car with his girl, and it's Quavo and Sweetie. And then
Dang.
like they're walking. So we're walking behind them, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Like I'm pretty sure it's just us and them in the
Yeah.
hallway. We trying to blend. I'm
Yeah.
walking. We trying to play it cool. We get to the door. Quavo go in, no problem. And then we like, man, we gotta knock on this door. They go look at us like, who are you? like what are y'all doing here?
Yeah.
And they come to the door, and it was like, who told you to come? And we like, Rich Paul. Rich Paul said come. So they was like, hold on, let us check. They shut the door. They was like, we're gonna come back. We'll let you know if it's good.
Uh,
And as they shut the door, we like thinking like, man, they ain't never gonna come back. Like we was gonna be standing out here.
uh,
And like he comes right back, and he's like, yeah, come in. And soon as we step through the door, the first person that's there to greet us is LeBron James. And he
dang.
sees us, he see Chris, he like, yo, what's up, Chris, man? Blah, blah, blah. And he look at me and Terrence Hall. He's like, yeah, man, oh, what's up? I watch y'all all the time. He's like, I watch y'all all the time. And I'm like,
Dang.
what?
So he was watching
And
the podcast.
yeah, and I'm
Yo.
like, when he's saying it, we shaking hands, dabbing up. And he's like, yeah, let's, come over. We over here. We walking in with him. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, he said he know me.
Yeah.
and after that, I was just like, that really like motivated me to like, I really had to get into this. I was like, if somebody, just him acknowledging that he's seen me before. I don't know if he really watched all the time, but
Yeah.
him just noticing he's seen me. And his one of his business partners, guy named Paul Revere, is it's
Yeah.
LeBron, Paul, Mav. He sees me, same party. He sees me, and he like looks at me, and he's like, you see somebody from a distance, and I
Yeah.
look at him. I don't even know him at this time. I look at him, and he's like, and I'm like, and then he's like, "What's up, man?" He comes and give me a hug and stuff. He like, "Good to meet you, man. Hey, it's nice to meet you." And he walks off. And then
Yeah.
Chris taps me, and he's like, Paul? Cause I sent like with the pie, I send emails. Like people don't know how hard like you got to work to like set up interviews and things. Like it looks like you just popping up with somebody every week, but
Yeah.
I'm sending emails all the time. So Chris was like, he assumed like I sent him an email. We might have been
Yeah.
talking before, but I've never spoke to him before. I didn't know who he was, but he knew me. And then
Wow.
in the same is it 2 Chainz is there and J. Cole and 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz had made a joke about Chris looking like one of his friends. So
Yeah.
so me and Chris now we getting comfortable. We getting
Yeah.
comfortable in there like we're in the party. And
Uh,
we walk up to 2 Chainz to like confront him about, you know, messing with Chris.
yeah.
And he sees us and he knows exactly who Chris is. And he
Yeah.
pulls out his phone. He grabbed me. He's like, yo, this is who I'm talking to, blah, blah, blah. I got, you know, we ended up talking and hanging out like for like 45 minutes or whatever. And it was like, yeah, it
Yeah.
was weird. He's like one of my favorite rappers or whatever. And, you know, it was just cool to, you know, be in that environment and to, you know, feel like you belong there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Really seeing.
I easily was the brokest person in the building. Easily. Easily.
Man, but it's crazy to have a moment like that, seeing your dreams just kind of like, yo, this is happening, man. That,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That is crazy. But man, obviously you've been able to take it from there, have your moment going from there. As you journeyed along, what has God meant to your career and how far that you've came? What is the role that God's kind of played in that?
Man, everything. Like it's when I look back at it, I'm real hard on myself on like, you know, how fast or slow I progress. And
Yeah,
but when I really sit back and look at, you know, the things I've done thus far, even though I still plan on going a lot further, but when I look back, I'm like, man, I have no business being able to do some of the things I did. Like I
yeah,
had no business being hanging with LeBron James and Anthony Davis and all them dudes and talking to Steph Curry, you know, on a regular.
yes, sir.
Some of the conversations that I've been in, like I'm like, man, I have no business, you know, having these conversations or whatever. And I like the whole way through, and I'm just every time I look at it, I'm like, that's nothing but God. That's
Yes,
nothing
sir.
but God, because it's not, you know, I don't have a college degree.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, I don't have, you know, the background to even be in the position doing the job that
Yeah,
I'm doing. And it's all, you know, it's all God's, you know, grace and, you know, him just, you know, piling blessings on top of me. Even when you
yeah,
know, it's been times where, you know, I'm taking these trips and stuff and, you know, going
yeah,
different places for interviews and things, and I'm broke. I don't
yeah,
know how I'm gonna pay rent, you know, this coming month. And I'm just, you know,
yeah.
something just kept telling me, well, God kept telling me, just keep going, just keep going.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, and now, like I said, I'm going into a full-time position
Yes, sir.
and like Clutch Points has been really good to me. They put a whole like I got a whole like team behind me, which is crazy. So like I got people that help me with, you know, with whether it's my videos and editing that, you know, my editors and stuff. There, I got about 3 editors that's on call, you know, for whenever I need them and stuff. And
Yes,
you
sir.
know, it's just been a blessing, and the only reason I'm here, you know, and able to do this is because of God.
Yes, sir, man. And seeing like stuff like that, man, you definitely know your family, bro. Because I'm the same way with my progress. I'm hard on myself. A lot of people, you've done this and done that, but when you know that your vision is here and when you want to accomplish this, and you see the bigger picture, you're always hard on yourself. Like, but I want to get here. I want to get there. So
Yeah,
I'm the same way. But seeing that favor that God's put on you and being able to elevate you and put you in doors that you ain't no business being in and open up doors that you ain't got no business being in, that's just God's favor, man. And like I said, we all proud of you and everything like that. And I know it's only the beginning for you and everything, bro. Going from that, but So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, man. I know Chris hoop. You a hoop, right? Do you
Yeah,
hoop?
yeah. So,
Okay.
man, I'm a weird story, man. I'm gonna actually tell you a funny story about, was that yesterday or the day before yesterday? Me and Chris went and hooped at this gym, but
Uh-oh.
I'll get to that later. But I'm really a hooper at heart, but
Yeah.
I just grew up with a football player's body. You know,
Yeah.
when we was young, 10 years old, I was tall. I was
Yeah.
tall. So we,
Yeah.
you
You
know,
was always up here, man. And I'm right here. Yeah.
I got to 6 foot. I was 6 foot in the 7th or 8th grade. I was 6 foot.
Yeah.
So we thought I could get, make 6'4", 6'5". Chris 6'2"
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. And I never grew. I stopped growing right there. And so I stopped growing up and started getting bigger. I started getting muscle and stuff. And I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, I don't even look like a basketball player. Like I can't play basketball, being, 220 pounds, 6 foot.
6 foot, yeah.
And
Be like a little midget Zion.
yeah. So I'm like that ain't gonna work or whatever. So
Yeah.
I realized that early, and I turned to football, and
Yeah, bro.
I started playing football, and I just went full on, just like now. Like when I decide I'm gonna do something, I go,
Yeah.
100% into it. So basketball had to go, but basketball
Yeah.
has always been my favorite sport. It's
Yes,
always
sir.
been my favorite sport. I wish I could play. I wish I was 6'6", but
Yeah.
that didn't happen. But
Yes.
fast forward to 2 days ago. I am in the worst shape of my life right now. I just keep it real. And
Yeah.
we got out. Me and Chris went to the gym to go play. I didn't feel like, I wasn't trying to play, but
Yeah.
he came over and picked me up.
And
And
he put up some of the stuff, like the videos of him shooting on his
yeah,
IG, and I was like, hey man, I want to see them dang threes, man. I want to see them little weak
yeah,
mid-range fadeaways, man. They ain't make play like
yeah,
that no more.
yeah, man. You got it's either three or to the basket now. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
gotta step it up.
Yeah, you
But
doing a little too his fadeaway. Oh no, Chris, come on, man.
man, I tell you, we got out there with these youngsters, dudes, kids probably about 19, 20.
Yeah,
And man, I'm like, after, so me and Chris played 1-on-1 at first. We was just playing, we wasn't playing hard, but we was just, because at this point I haven't played basketball, dude. And man, I haven't played basketball in years. So
yeah,
I'm, the shot is broke. I'm just getting everything back. And
yeah.
I started feeling good, towards, the end of playing 21. And
Kind of got a
we
little
see
rhythm.
these, yeah, I got the rhythm right. And then
Yeah.
but the back wasn't cooperating with me. I'm
Yeah,
picking up balls and I'm like, man, this is really hurting. Like
yeah.
I'm in pain. I'm not even tired. I'm just in pain from moving. I'm like, I haven't did this in so long. And it's some
Yeah.
guys playing 1-on-1, King of the Court on the other side. And Chris was like, man, we could beat them. He's like, let's go
Yeah.
play them. Yeah, man, I just looked down there and I told him, this is exactly what I said. I said, the competitor in me wants to go play them, but my
Yeah.
body is saying no. I was like, it's not happening. And then I told him, so we ended up playing later on. We ended up playing 3-on-3, and I said, I'm cool with playing 3-on-3 because I need the option to pass right now.
Yeah. Like,
If I ain't got
you
that
ain't got the
option right
jump,
now,
it's gonna be on me. Like
yeah,
I'm not to make
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got on. We did the 3-on-3. We split a game, and I held my own, but I felt it, the next
Yeah.
day,
Yeah,
but
man. I'm the same way. I just hooped for the first time, like in the whole, like during the whole pandemic, and usually like
mhm,
saying I'm not because I never played in high school or anything like that, but I got
mhm,
pretty good. My shot came. I say this all
right.
the time, Chris, and I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all can hoop and you play football, Chris hoop, but I got the best jumper in the family. I say that, and I hold
Ooh,
myself
hey.
to it. I tell Nick that I got the best jumper in the family. So,
So we
anyways,
gonna have to test that.
we definitely definitely going to test that. We definitely going to test that. Chris, no. But anyways, I hooped. Went to an open run, and man, I was like, okay. I was like, really, I wasn't gonna go. I was like, man, I said, man, I'm gonna get up and go. And I went and played like the first game, man. My lungs was on fire, man. And I set out, and I was like, okay, all right. So I went and I hooped the next game, and I just started dropping threes like crazy. I said, oh, the shot's still there. So I played the rest of the day. I played great, knocking down threes, game winners, pulling up from deep, all that. And I felt good. I said, man, it's like, hey, we're going to be running this again. You going to be coming back? I was like, yeah. So, man, bro, cuz I tell you this, no lie. I got home. I could not move for the next 3 days straight. I could not move, man. And I got a 2-story like my son. I be needing to get my daughter, like, I'm like, y'all going to have to bring her downstairs because I can't do it. I can't move. I got ice. I put it in the bath. I'm like, I ain't never had to do that. But it's my first time balling. You know what I'm saying? Man, 32. Like, it ain't the same no more, man. It wasn't the same. I'm like, oh, man. I see why I'm going to have to get the Brian hyperbaric chamber or something.
Yeah, man. Hey, I seen it as we was walking out the gym, and I seen it, and I was like, man, I should really buy this right now. I knew I was going to be in trouble the next day. I knew it. And but I when we was 20 in our 20s, you could go from one hoop session to another one, and you good, good. But now, man, I'm like I'm when it comes to body, I was telling Chris, my body is older than his. Football took some years out of me, and like I'm like that old veteran who knows his limitations, and I was like, nah, it's just some things I'm just not gonna do. I see the ball right there, and I'm like, I think I can get to it, but the fact that it's it ain't worth getting it.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. A funny story you were saying about when you was 6 feet, when you that was your freshman year, right?
Yeah.
Freshman year. We had came to grandma's for it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, one of those, bro. And I walked in the door, and you know what I'm saying? We was a little closer in height, the year before. And I remember I walked in, and my dad was like, hey, Mark back there. He's like, turn around, it's a surprise. I just felt like, man, I felt so small, man. I'm like, man, we was like
hey,
man, like, what happened?
It literally, I'll be showing Jocelyn. I got a baseball picture where I'm 10 years old. No, I'm 11. I'm 11 years old in one picture, and I'm 12 in the next picture. And I went from like being like this kid the same size as everybody, to this dude. No, it's 12 and 13. That's what it was. 12 and 13. To this dude that's like the same height as the coaches, growing facial hair and stuff. Like I think I had a full mustache in like middle school or something like that. And it was weird. I had like a real creepy like growth spurt, but that was the only growth spurt I had. I have no other growth spurts.
I swear you change like every year. Like I come back, then you got the dreads with the beard and everything. I'm like, you don't change up again, man. God damn, can't go to mustache. You got a full beard and dreads. I'm like, man.
Hey, a funny story. We was like, I had just grew my dreads. Actually, I had them for a while because they was kind of long. And Aunt Money, it was when Aunt Money was living, and she was sitting down on the couch, and I was just kind of standing there. And you remember, Grandma and them had that picture of Black Jesus or whatever.
Yeah, sitting right there with his hand.
Yeah. So I'm standing there, and Aunt Money is just staring at me. She's just staring at me, and then she's super quiet. And she like signaled for me. And this was when she was sick too. So she like signaled for me to like come close to her. And I leaned down. I was like, "What's up, Auntie?" She was like, "You look like Black Jesus."
Oh my God.
Oh man. And I was like, yeah, on that picture, I'm like, man, I sure do.
Sure do, bro. Yeah, man. That is crazy. There was definitely some good times. But I just think about that the other day. I was like, man, we all gotta get back over there, man. But
yeah.
No, definitely, man. But then you came with the grill too. You had the
Yeah,
grill too back
grill.
then?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
I had my transformations, man. I had the grill. I was on my Bay Area stuff then.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So what you think? Obviously, you being one of the NBA insiders. What do you think about how the season went? The Bucks winning the championship. What you think about all that?
Man, I'm trying to remember when did I pick the Bucks, but I picked the
You picked the
Bucks.
Bucks.
I picked them, but it wasn't like they wasn't my first pick. I originally had the Nets and Lakers, but I
Mm-hmm.
think somewhere in like the second round. In the second round, I was looking. I was just like, man, the Nets was having the injuries and stuff, and then
Yeah,
even at full strength, they didn't have, they didn't play together long enough.
yeah,
Them injuries messed them up.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
was just looking at the Bucks. I was looking at the Bucks and Hawks. I called the Hawks going to the conference finals
yeah.
because I was just like how things are set up and how this year has been. If Trae Young and the Hawks get hot, they could get there. And I thought they had a chance of beating the Bucks until
Trey
the
when
Bucks
he,
beat no when I say how the Bucks beat the Nets in
yeah,
seven games, I was like, man, I don't see nobody beating the Bucks. Like
yeah,
that was they had to lose that series if they were
yeah,
going to lose. And
yeah, yeah.
although Phoenix was running through everybody, and when I looked across and I looked at that matchup, and I'm like, they don't have an answer for Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
People blame, put a lot of blame on Coach Monty Williams, but I don't care what you did. I don't care if you put a wall or two walls
Whatever
back there.
you do, man. Whatever
Giannis
you do.
was not going to be stopped. And then they were the only team at that point. They were the only team that's been together, for
Exactly,
years. This is
exactly.
all they did was add Drew Holiday,
Then the point
and
was when they hit
everybody
that
else was the same.
adversity, going down 0-2 versus the Nets. That's why when everybody, man, they were a little too excited in the finals
Oh
for
my God, yeah,
like they just, you know what I'm saying? And plus they got that experience, like you were saying, being together like that.
yeah. When they went down 0-2 against Phoenix, and the ESPN, all the experts, everybody is like, "Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Giannis, this he needs to develop a
Mm-hmm.
jump shot." Blah blah blah. I'm looking like, man, they've been 0-2. They're down 0-2 against the Nets. They're down 0, 0-1. They lost the first game against the Hawks or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, these dudes are the only team that have experience. The Phoenix Suns, they're new to this.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
was
young.
amazing that they even it was
Yeah.
amazing that they even got that far.
Yeah.
But with the Bucks, they never seemed rattled. They just
Yeah.
kept playing their game, kept doing their thing, and I loved that they stayed big and
Yeah.
played,
Yeah.
Brooke Lopez and like most teams, you get against a team that's playing small ball, they want to go small.
Small ball,
But
yeah. Man,
but the
yeah.
Bucks, I said if the Bucks stay big, I think they got a chance at winning, and that's basically what they did.
Exactly, man. I wanted it for Chris, like for real,
Mm-hmm.
especially like when they went down 2-0, because one thing that kind of obviously I knew that they were older and had the experience from the last few rounds, and even the years before battle wounds going against us when we had beat them and stuff like that. They've been together.
Yeah,
But when they went down to, I'm like, man, if Chris loses this, like everybody gonna be, because he has all those series where he done lost like that.
yeah,
But when I watched one of Giannis's press conferences, bro, he was just so calm, like almost like
yeah,
LeBron was when
yep,
they went down versus the Warriors, and he just was like, okay, he
yeah,
had that certain calmness about him, and I was like, we just gonna figure it out, we all right, we all right. And when the
yeah,
leaders like that, the troops, you already know, the troops can follow. He wasn't rattled or nothing like that, and obviously we see what happened, but he was dominant this postseason. Obviously, we know that you're a LeBron fan.
hmm
We was rooting for the same team for a little period
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
So,
man. It was fun. It was fun.
yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. But with Giannis having the finals performance that he did, obviously KD was killing in the playoffs. A lot of people have said after LeBron's injury, and obviously being is this year 18? It was year 18, right? For Bron, or is it 17?
Yeah, 18, 18. Because
Yeah,
yeah, he
18.
won 7. Yeah, 18.
Yeah. With Bron getting his injury, a lot of people saying KD after he was, killing versus Milwaukee and in the playoffs and all that. Giannis has this performance in the finals. A lot of people are saying he's the best player in the game. Who's the best player in the game right now?
Right now, and this is not because of the finals for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I'm gonna start off with the top three. I think the top three is KD, Giannis, and Bron. I still think they're the top three. And I think it's close because who knows when Bron come back next year, who knows what type of, shape he comes in. But I'm one of the guys, I don't like ranking people off of winning championships. I think we put a little bit too much into what a championship means. Like, to me, a championship means you have the best team in the league.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But we all, we got used to saying, championships mean, this person is so much greater or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Giannis is the best player in the NBA right now. I think he surpassed LeBron, and I think him beating Kevin Durant, even though Kevin Durant was shorthanded, I think I think in my eyes, I think that made him the best player in the NBA right now. Now, the thing people mix up or whatever, because people probably jump on me for saying that right now. The thing people mix up when it comes to talking about basketball players, who better and who's this, I think Giannis is the best basketball player, but I think KD and LeBron have way more skill than Giannis.
Sure.
Way more skill. So you may take that skill over, the actual best player, because Giannis, his free throw shooting, his 3-point shooting is horrible. And he has more limitations than KD and LeBron. But even with those limitations, nobody has been able to stop him. KD wasn't able to stop him. Maybe Bron can. I don't know. I didn't get to see that. But by just seeing what he does on the court, and he can't shoot, he's coming to the basket, and you still can't stop him.
He's still gonna get his 50. I said, man, I was like, hey, look, y'all talking about all that skill and all this, and that's definitely true. But just like KD and Bron can drop 50, and Giannis gonna do the same thing.
And what he gonna do. You know what he gonna do.
Exactly. It's just pure dominance. So I definitely agree with that. I think a lot of people, I definitely agree with that full three. I would say Giannis right now for sure. But I think with LeBron, and this is so crazy to even think about with him being year 18.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand. And I was just telling somebody, like, when he hurt his ankle, he was leading for the MVP.
Yeah.
It wasn't Giannis. It wasn't, KD was having a great year, but people forget LeBron was the best player in the game, leading for the MVP, all that. Lakers was the favorites in it's year 18. Obviously he ended up getting his injury, and I could tell watching Bron, because obviously with Bron being on my team, our team, that one is in South Beach, I really watched him, and that's when I really got to understand his game and his impact. So really seeing him in the playoffs, like, that's not Bron. He playing different. You can tell he wasn't himself. But next year, I know he's gonna get back to himself. So we're gonna see, and everybody's gonna have a chance to be able to answer for what Giannis did for sure. You think the Westbrook? Go ahead. Would you say something?
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say I agree. I'm with you.
For sure. What do you think about the Westbrook move? Westbrook teaming up with Bron and AD today. That's
man,
crazy.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard to process, and I think I'm gonna have to see it first, because I really can't imagine it. Like, LeBron has been, especially since he's been with the Lakers, he's been basically a point guard. It's not even a point forward no more. He's been the point guard. And now you bring in Russell Westbrook, who has to play the point guard position. Exactly. And he's most effective with the ball in his hands. Yeah. And what does that look like? You got two guys that's super ball dominant. Yeah. And one guy who struggles with shooting a three, Russell Westbrook. Like, he's not a good 3-point shooter. Yeah. So you would imagine, he would probably have to be the point guard handling the rock, and you move LeBron off ball, which is actually good for Bron being you know,
Being
he'll be 37 next year. Like this dude, he's old. It's just playing like he's old. And we're comparing, you know, we're talking about he's a top 3 player in the game, maybe even the best player in the game at 36 years old. We're comparing a 26-year-old Giannis to somebody 10 years older than him. And that's a testament to his greatness. Because, like, let's say 10 years ago, you know, that shows how better he was back then, 10 years ago. Because we're still able right now to say he's at that, you know, that top tier.
But on his prime for sure, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's out of this world. But as smart as he is, you know, as many teams as he's played on, that's funny. It's not a shot or a jab, but as many teams as he's played on, you know, he's if anybody's going to make it work with Russell Westbrook, it's going to be LeBron James.
Yeah, and I actually think LeBron usually takes pride in that. You know what I'm saying? With JR, when nobody making it work with JR,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, bring him with me. You know, he kind of really takes that challenge, like, okay. And I think he's really going to take that challenge in with his IQ. I definitely think it's going to be a little different as long as because we know the Lakers struggle with shooting last year. That's really one of the main things. So as long as they can get some shooters like JJ Redick, they should be able to pick him up off the scrap heap, maybe for the minimum. Get him shooters like that. Just put some shooters around them. They're gonna be, if they get the shooters in the jail right. I mean, it's gonna be scary, because the thing about Russ is he proved to me last year that he still has it.
Yeah,
he still has it, because when he came back early in the season, he was looking rough.
Oh, he looked bad.
Here, man, I was like, he still got it like that. So, and I know he's gonna be motivated playing in LA, his hometown, and everything like that. So, if they can, as long as he can change his game a little bit, hit some threes here and there, and put some shooters around them, I definitely think they're gonna be all right. But
it might be easier. It might be easier on him with his shooting. Being that he got AD and Braun on the court, to space the floor for him,
exactly.
Them wide, hitting a wide open shot is easier than with one in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, definitely, man. So hopefully, right now, going into next year, I gotta look, because obviously, man, I don't know what everybody's gonna end up doing. I hope my team make a move and everything like that, man. I don't know what we did last year. I was hot, so hopefully we do a little something, man. But I didn't want the Bucks. I said it. I was like, man, I don't want them, because I knew they were gonna be motivated from what we did, and I don't like motivated teams. And I wanted that 4-5 Hawks and Knicks round. I wanted that 5 seed so we can play the Knicks, because I said, I was like, whoever goes in on that side is going to end up going to the conference finals, because I didn't see Philadelphia getting there, and I knew we could have been Philly. We always give Philly issues, so I was like, I don't like how we playing, but if we can get in that 4-5, and we missed it by one game, I was like, we can get in that 4-5, man. We can make another trip to the conference finals. But definitely hope we can do some different things next year and get some help. But want to ask you this. Obviously, we went to the best player all time. MJ, Bron. You know what I'm saying? So what's your take on who's the GOAT?
See, and this goes into similar to what I was saying about the skill and the best player or whatever. And I think the most skilled player, and that's just my opinion, I think the most skilled player ever is not Michael Jordan, but Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
I think Kobe is the most skilled player ever. I think, with the footwork and everything he can do, and how he can defend, I think he's the most skilled player ever. But then when I look at LeBron being 6'8", 6'9", anywhere from 250 to 280, who knows what he actually is, and being that freakish athlete, I think he's the greatest player of all time. Because we get on him about playing soft or flopping and all that stuff, But that's that's the way the game is played now. Like you're not getting no call if you don't flop.
Pretty
I ain't
much.
saying I like it. I don't really like how much he flopped because it looked funny. He's too big to be flopping. So anytime he hit the ground, you could consider it a flop because he can run over everybody.
Yeah.
But if you stuck him, I believe if you stuck him in Michael Jordan's era, where you could be physical, I think he's even better. I
I
think
say
he's
that
even
all
better
the
than what he
time.
is.
I don't
He
know why
has everything to do it.
I don't know why people always be like, oh, if you put LeBron on that flop and you put him in the 90s, he wouldn't be able to play. I said, you understand a man is 6'8", 260, runs like a guard,
Yeah.
shoot all that. He would actually be able to use his full arsenal of physicalness, which he can't even use now. You know what I mean? But he would be able to use that in man. It would be crazy.
I came up with that idea when I looked at Shaq. Shaq was the man. He was the most dominant player ever. And he went from 1 year, it was when he left Miami, to being, still great, still being Shaq. He was coming down, but he was still dominant to, he went to Phoenix, Cleveland, and all that. And it was like he couldn't even, back people down like he used to. And it was like, what? Well, was it that he couldn't? Because he still was 340 pounds, still stronger than everybody. But the rules changed. Every time Shaq went for, a turn and do a little jump hook, it was an offensive foul. Every single time. He was in foul trouble all the time. So they basically like neutered him as a player. They was like, yo, you stronger than everybody, but you can't just bully people. Then once they took away him bullying people, he went from averaging 20 to averaging 6 to coming off the bench. Like it was immediately. Like he towards the end, he still was the strongest player in the league. It wasn't like Shaq had a jump shot or anything. His game was, I'm gonna beat you up in the paint, dunk on you, jump hook. That's it. But you take away being able to be strong.
Exactly. Especially those two years he had played with Bron and then he played with Phoenix. Because from us he got traded to Phoenix, then I believe he went to Cleveland after that. But he was still like he wasn't Celtic Shaq. Like Celtic Shaq was old and like you really had too much left. But then those last two stops, like he still was solid. Like he still was, like you said, biggest, strongest, all that. I never even looked at it like that.
Now that was all I thought of, and I was like, you take away a player and say, LeBron should be one of the strongest players in the league right now. He should, if it's football, he's running over everybody, but running over people is illegal. So now I have to be skilled like Kobe, skilled like Jordan, to do my work. So that's LeBron's. That's not his first strength is his size and physicality. That's his number one strength. But you take that away, and that's why I think he's the greatest. Because you take that away, he's still an all-time great because he can pass like magic. He could still score. He's in the 30,000 club. He might retire with 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. So that's what makes me think he's the greatest of all time. And like when you go to the 90s, the wings, Jordan played in the big man era.
No, you did not gonna want to hear that, Mark.
They not. It was the big man. It's the big man era. We all seen that one picture where Jordan is going through the lane. He's getting a layup, and it's a guy. It's a white dude like in the picture on the opposing team that looked like Bill Clinton. His hair is white. His hair is all white. He looks like Bill Clinton. He looks like he has no just like I shouldn't be in sports media. He had no business being on the court with Michael Jordan. And it's no knock on Jordan. He beat up on whoever he had in front of him. But when you talk about who was the number 2 shooting guard back then, we would say, like a Drexler, Reggie Miller. Then right after that, we start getting into John Starks, Joe Dumars. Not even young Joe Dumars, old Joe Dumars. And then it gets really bad. So they don't want to hear that though. They
don't want to hear it. I'm telling you, I done told him, Mark, I done preached this sermon. As many sermons as I've preached on the gospel, I done preached this. and they don't want to hear, they don't want to listen and be delivered and understand LeBron. They haven't witnessed the greatness. I can't tell them no more. I'm not trying to say it is what it is. I respect Jordan wholeheartedly. I never argue with nobody who called Jordan the GOAT.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But my opinion is LeBron is the greatest as well. And but I look at those people sideways. If you have LeBron anywhere outside of your top three, that's when I'm.
Yeah.
And you talking about he can't play in the 90s. And
yeah, I can't.
LeBron, in my opinion, bro, he's done more with less than anybody else ever has. And then the way he can transform, like in his older years, now like he's gonna lose, as a year. I mean, we gonna see. I mean, he ain't lost it too much yet, but he's gonna begin to lose a little athleticism. But I've always said that he's gonna be able to morph into like a Magic Johnson, like just point guard, and still be elite like that. You know what I'm saying? With the IQ and still be a great player and stuff like that. But he's definitely the GOAT in my book. I have my reasons. I won't get into that all tonight, but I definitely like I said, I don't try to tell him. But Jordan's great, man. Kobe's great. What you said about Kobe, a lot of people don't talk about that enough.
No,
his
man.
skill, man, was ridiculous.
See, and it's all because like Kobe and LeBron. It's all because of Jordan, Magic, and all the all-time greats. When you think about Jordan and the things that he did in his time, like how he flew through the air, the up and under, like in my mind, he was like one of the first people that was doing the up and under like every game. But
there wasn't nobody doing that back then. Like
wasn't nobody doing that. It wasn't nobody jumping like that. And the thing is with Jordan, I don't believe Jordan practiced doing up and unders. He was just getting knocked out the air by the Pistons and the Celtics, and he was, he was fighting for his life. And some of the layups, like they'd be like, "Oh, Jordan had a crazy layup package," and it was just like he was just trying to survive when he in the air. So he flipping the ball around, throwing it behind him. He was doing whatever he could do to get it in the bucket. And LeBron and Kobe and guys from today, Kyrie Irving, who's a master of, layups and stuff, they got to actually just see Jordan do that. And they started practicing what Jordan did. Exactly. And they were able to perfect it. Jordan just did it off pure talent, pure skill, just like it was just natural ability. They got to perfect it and turn it into a craft. Now you got guys like Kyrie Irving and, all these people doing jelly layups and all that stuff or whatever. And it's because of Jordan. And it's like, of course, Jordan was like the originator of this style of player, but Kobe's going to be better. LeBron's going to be better because he's going to take stuff from Kobe.
It's LeBron,
I was just telling Josh yesterday, I was like, I think LeBron's the greatest to play the game, but I don't think he's always going to be there. I think somebody else is coming for that spot.
Exactly.
But nobody wants to give up their era. Everybody want to say my era, my GOAT is the best GOAT.
And it's hard. I remember I was having a talk. Rest in peace, Uncle Jerome and Auntie Shelly. But I remember I was having a talk with Uncle Jerome. He had actually took me outside to talk about girls because I was talking to him about something. He had told me he said back then, they used to hate on Jordan too. Jordan had haters back then too. And that was the first time, and I asked my dad about that. I was like, they really used to hate on these? Like, yeah, he had some hate. Everybody didn't really like him, but now it's like as you go on, that legacy kind of gets blown up, and the same way, as we see it happening with Kobe. And with Bron, we're definitely gonna see the same thing. But I was saying with Bron, man, once LeBron gets, Jordan came out with his documentary. I was like, man, with Bron, like really looking back at his career and being 21, 22, knocking off the Pistons and getting to the finals and everything he did young, and his whole career and everything like that is just it's gonna be a crazy thing to look back on and watch. And the fact that he's been able to take that to different teams, different coaches. I heard Thomas say like he didn't come from a education process like Jordan, from Dean Smith to Phil. Everybody had great guys like that. Bron just had a mind, had an IQ, and all kind of different coaches and all that. So he definitely has his whole package is just crazy. But
for sure.
But man, yeah, GOAT debate. You know, I've been saying I'm gonna actually have a big GOAT debate because everybody needs to be set straight one time. But man, definitely, man. Looking forward to seeing what you gonna continue to do, man. Again, bro, I'm proud of you where you done got to in your career. Both of my cousins, man. I never. Everybody asks me like, you got your cousins that's NBA insiders, so do you be calling them? I let them do their job, man. I want to be like y'all to get the breaking news too. So I don't hear Mark. I never hear Chris be like, what is he doing? Like,
Yeah.
like I like seeing it on my phone too, and you know what I'm saying. My cousins broke that news. So it's definitely good to see. But proud of you, man. Again, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep on. I can't wait to see as great as you're gonna get. I know it's only the beginning for you. But again, we're proud of you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, bro, man. I appreciate you having me on. You know, I was super excited and happy to do this with you. You know, being family and
Yes, sir.
Fresno, California. I mean, you know, that's always gonna be home. No matter where life take me.
Yes, sir.
And you know, yeah, man. Anytime you need me, you know, I don't mind. You know, any bugging you want to do is never bugging with me. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm proud of you and everything you have accomplished and all the awards and the many awards that you go get. And you know, I know a huge, massive super church is in your future. You know, I'm speaking life into your future, man. And you know, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk. You know, have these same talks when we old or
Yes, sir.
older.
Yes, sir, man.
and wrinkle. You know, I look forward to seeing our kids grow and prosper, and you know, I'm so happy to see what everybody's doing and
Yeah,
us
man.
growing as a family.
Yes, sir, man. I was just telling my pops. I was like, I know Grandma's proud of all of us and everything, and everything to Mark, Chris, and you know myself and Marcus and everybody,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
JL,
yeah.
I'm really proud of all of us. We had a great foundation with our family and Uncle Bruce. Shout out Uncle Bruce, my guy. Shout out Uncle Bruce. I'm always running into Uncle Bruce somewhere. I always see Uncle Bruce. I always see
Yeah, he
Uncle
always
Bruce.
out, man, playing tennis and stuff.
Yeah, always saying Uncle Bruce somewhere. Shout out Uncle Bruce, but we all have a great foundation. You know, started with grandma to our parents and stuff like that. And I'm happy that we're all able to, you know, just further the legacy, which what we was left with it. The baton's in our hand now, so I'm blessed that we're able to further that. But thanks again, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'm gonna keep going as I know you are. To everybody else watching, thank y'all for watching tonight. Obviously, you guys know we got the Kick It Outreach going. It's been amazing. We have a week left. Shoes are coming in. It's been crazy how much shoes is coming in. We've already surpassed our goal for what we're planning to do for this year. So thank you all. And if you haven't donated, there's still a week and a few days left to get donations in for next Saturday's Kick It Outreach. The doors that God has been able to open up with this has been amazing. City getting behind it, organization getting behind it, people from around the world getting behind it. Even some stuff I can't even share now with future events concerning this. But thank you all. You guys will be hearing a lot more about it and about what's coming. Again, if you still want to get donations in, it's not too late. Hit me up and any of our teams members that you guys know, and we'll be able to we'll be doing pickups, and we also have our drop off location. Love all y'all. Love you, cuz. Thanks again, man.
Love you too, man.
And we'll see y'all next time. We will be back next week for another episode of LWIC Link Ups. LWICC. Forgive me, y'all, but I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. All right, cuz.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.